What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool themed video where we will talk about Jamie Carragher saying that Steven Gerrard could take over after Jurgen Klopp leaves Liverpool. What do you think about that? And also we will have some updates on the Aston Villa game where Fabinho is a risk. If he gets a yellow card, he will be suspended for the Manchester City game. So would you rest Fabinho in the Aston Villa game, which is coming up later today? Let me know in the comments below. And of course, as always, if you enjoy these videos, leave a like. It really helps me out and shows me you guys enjoy this content. And also we will have some injury updates on Matip, on Mohamed Salah and on Naby Keita as well. And also in this video you will hear about New Balance and their attempts to actually appeal the decision of the High Court. New Balance wants to sign a new contract with Liverpool, but they actually appealed that verdict where the judge said that Nike is free to sign a new contract with Liverpool. So this is what Carragher said about Gerrard potentially become the next Liverpool manager. Why not? There will be a clamor for probably a lot of people, I think, whenever Jurgen Klopp decides his time is up at Liverpool, but hopefully that's a long way away. There's no doubt Steven Gerrard will come into the equation because of the job he is doing at Rangers, but also because he is a Liverpool legend. And just my comment, he's doing a fantastic job at Rangers. They are level on points with Celtic in the Scottish Premier League, doing very well. And I think they have a serious chance of winning the Premiership title, the Scottish Premier League title I mean. And also in Europe, he's doing pretty well as well. Rangers are still in with the shout to qualify for the knockout stages of the Europa League, and they are still in both competitions as well in Scotland. And they are playing very good football, attacking football, scoring a lot of goals at Rangers. But of course it's very hard to judge how good of a manager Steven Gerrard is, because Rangers would always dominate most of the Premier League games in Scotland anyway, with or without Steven Gerrard. But his record in Europe is actually pretty decent, pretty good. And apart from losing to a last-minute goal against young boys of Switzerland, he is actually all his other European games, he's unbeaten at Rangers this season, and he got a draw away at Porto as well, where Rangers were the underdogs, and that's a decent result. He's doing a fantastic job at Rangers according to Carragher, and that will certainly help him getting the Liverpool job. And actually Jamie Carragher also announced that he will make a new podcast, his first podcast, because he's enjoying listening to podcasts, and now Jamie Carragher will have a new podcast out called The Greatest Game. And this is what Carragher said about that. I listen to podcasts myself and I really enjoy them. I was actually thinking it would be nice to speak to people as opposed to me giving my opinion on the game, so it's more interviewing people and trying to get something from them with a bit of my experiences. But I actually enjoy just sitting down and chatting with people about football. The first one yesterday was Thierry Henry. He's one of the big names. There will be a couple of Liverpool legends on there as well. And I'm really interested in this because Jamie Carragher is very articulate. He's a very good pundit in my opinion. He is one of the biggest living Liverpool legends out there. He had the second most appearances for Liverpool with like 737 games played, something like that. Only Ian Callahan has more games played for Liverpool in Liverpool's history, with well over 800 games for Callahan. So Jurgen Klopp confirmed that Matip is not available for at least 3 weeks, maybe even more. But also Naby Keita is at the moment a little doubt. He was up and running after getting injured, so Naby Keita is in contention. Mohamed Salah also is in contention, even though he had to have some fluids drained from his ankle. According to the physio department of Liverpool, it's not a serious injury. And Jurgen Klopp said that Salah is also in contention to start against Aston Villa, or at least be in the squad, which is music to my ears. And Jurgen Klopp on Fabinho on the brink of being suspended with a potential yellow card against Aston Villa. I don't know yet if I will give it any consideration, arresting Fabinho. We will see. Do I say no challenges at all? That's not possible against Aston Villa. The players know it, I know it. I didn't make a final decision yet. So at the moment it's still in the balance, but I think that Liverpool have a good enough midfield to win against Aston Villa even without Fabinho. So I think we should just drop him from the squad completely and just explain to him that for this one game we are resting you, because it's just so incredibly vital and important that Fabinho is available against Manchester City. The Liverpool-Manchester City game at Anfield could be a title decider. I'm not saying it is, but if we beat Manchester City, and before that, if we beat Aston Villa, we could open up a 9-point gap, which is absolutely massive at this stage of the season. Yes, it's still very early on, but 9 points is a very significant lead, especially considering that Liverpool have drawn only one game. Like, imagine Manchester City, if they lose to Anfield, to Liverpool at Anfield, that would be just monumental, knocking their confidence down and bringing Liverpool's confidence up as well. But on the other hand, if we play Fabinho against Aston Villa and he gets a yellow card, he gets suspended, that will make the Man City game more difficult in my opinion. And with Henderson, Wijnaldum, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Lallana, Naby Keita, I think we have enough midfielders to win against Aston Villa and to not actually need Fabinho. So yeah, let me know, what do you think? And there has been this crazy rumor that Real Madrid wants to sign Andy Robertson. I'm not sure if you read about that a few days ago. Spanish site Defensa Central claimed that actually earlier this week that Robertson is a prime target for Real Madrid because Marcelo is having a pretty bad time. He's declining rapidly and Real Madrid want a very good replacement. Maybe in one season they want to replace him. But just days after claiming that the Scottish left back was on Zidane's radar, they are actually claiming that Liverpool won't sell him and Real Madrid will move on to other targets. So maybe they just came to their senses after being in dreamland, because of course Robertson is a dream signing for every club, every big club in the world. But Real Madrid or any other club, I don't think have any chance to sign Robertson or Trent Alexander-Arnold, in fact, because they are Liverpool fans now and they want to stay at Liverpool for their whole careers, or at least as long as possible, and until Liverpool want to sell them, and that is a long way, there is no chance that they will move on, because they want to be at Liverpool, they want to compete and win trophies. And I think that Real Madrid have no chance to sign any of the Liverpool players, in my opinion. And Jurgen Klopp gave a interesting update on Mohamed Salah's injury. I'm not a medical expert, so I don't really know what this means, but he said Mohamed Salah should be fine for the Aston Villa game. I think it is really more annoying for him than for me that the injury is a bit of a fluid and he has to deal with it. He gets it out during training and then he has to come back out to the team. It is not a real injury, and I don't really understand. Maybe he has a little bit of swelling and fluid in his ankle, which he needs to get out from time to time during training, which is pretty unusual, pretty weird. I haven't heard about this kind of injury or medical issue before. So let me know if you know anything about this, anything more specific. Let me know what kind of injury this is or what kind of medical issue this is. I'm not really sure, but hopefully it's not a real injury, as Jurgen Klopp is saying. Hopefully the medical department say that he's fine to play against Aston Villa. Maybe they can drain the fluid at halftime as well during the game. But it's just an unusual, weird injury. I'm not sure what to make of that, to be honest. As I reported previously in my Rugani to Liverpool video, Dejan Lovren is actually of interest for AC Milan and for other Italian clubs. They want to buy Dejan Lovren. Roma and AC Milan are the two clubs with the most interest, and according to Tuttosport, Milan are now really seriously looking at Dejan Lovren. And previously AC Milan was put off by the 20 million pound valuation that Liverpool have put on Dejan Lovren, but both sides, both AC Milan and Liverpool, will re-evaluate their price differences in the January transfer window. And I think Matip getting injured is actually huge for Lovren, because now Lovren is our first choice centre-back alongside Virgil van Dijk, and Gomez is probably the third choice at the moment. So I think that Lovren playing quite a lot of games will work in Liverpool's favour, because Lovren will not want to move as much in the January transfer, because of getting regular playing time. I mean, imagine if Matip doesn't get injured, then Lovren potentially plays like 5, 6, 7 games during the first half of the season, and he would have been very upset about that. He would have been, ideally wanting more playing time, but now he will get a lot of playing time because Matip is not back until probably December. So at the moment, Lovren and Van Dijk will play probably all of the Premier League games, the Champions League games, and Gomez will play in the League Cup, if we can even ever schedule the Aston Villa Liverpool game, because that's an absolute mess already. I made a video about that yesterday. It's a very interesting one, so make sure to watch it if you haven't already. And former Liverpool player Jason McAteer has given a lot of praise to Fabinho, saying he is the biggest and most important signing for Liverpool in recent years, alongside Alisson and Van Dijk. This is what he said. When Fabinho first arrived, he was probably guilty of trying the odd wonder pass, if you like, too often. He was trying too hard, but Jurgen Klopp is the kind of manager who would have said to him, "Do this job for me and I will pick you every week." And that's exactly what he's doing. His awareness of danger is fantastic. He and N'Golo Kante at Chelsea are the two best defensive midfielders in the Premier League, and also he's definitely one of the final pieces in Jurgen Klopp's jigsaw, and I fully agree with it. Fabinho is one of the most important signings for Liverpool of the past 20 years, and I'm not exaggerating. He, Van Dijk and Alisson, those three players completely transformed this Liverpool team, because going forward Liverpool was always great. We always scored a lot of goals under Jurgen Klopp, but to have that defensive cover and to have a world-class goalkeeper, a world-class centre-back, a world-class defensive midfielder as good as those three, that gave Liverpool such a strong spine throughout the team. And the defense, the goalkeeper, the defensive midfielder, it's huge. Liverpool can now go forward and attack with all their power without actually worrying, like, do we need to score 4 goals today to win a game? Because in the first 2 years of Jurgen Klopp's management at Liverpool, that was certainly the feeling. Sometimes you felt we need 2 goals just to draw a game, because our defense was so leaky. We lacked a leader at the back when Carragher retired from Liverpool, and Van Dijk is certainly a leader, but Fabinho is a leader as well. What I noticed recently, and not just recently but previously as well, but recently maybe I noticed it a little bit more, that Fabinho, even though he is not English, he's actually shouting some instructions to his teammates. He's shouting even at Van Dijk sometimes, or to Lovren, or to the fullbacks, or to the other midfielders, what to do, where to go, to drop back or to go forward, where to pass the ball. So he's acting like another leader, like another captain on the pitch, and you can't have too many leaders on the pitch. Look at other clubs like Arsenal, like Manchester United, where the lack of leadership is so evident. When the going gets tough, there is not one player in Arsenal or not one player in Manchester United who stands up and shouts at his teammates, who really gives instructions and takes the game by the scruff of the neck and really dictates the play and makes things happen. And Fabinho and Van Dijk are definitely 2 players who are leaders at Liverpool. But I would also say that Henderson is also a leader. He's also instructing players and shouting at them when he's on the pitch. So now let's talk about New Balance's attempts to appeal the verdict that the High Court gave over their kit deal extension rejected. So what happened is New Balance had a clause in the contract with Liverpool that if Liverpool get an offer from another manufacturer, then they can match that offer, and then Liverpool have to sign an extension with New Balance. But Liverpool argued in court that Nike has so much more stores around the world and so much more commercial power that it makes a lot of sense for Liverpool to sign with Nike instead of staying with New Balance, and that New Balance basically wasn't honest in their assessment of how much reach they will have in the next 3, 4, 5 years commercially compared to other manufacturers. So New Balance actually appealed this decision, and the High Court rejected that appeal, which draws a line under the legal case, which is reported by Paul Joyce. Liverpool can go and sign and will go and sign with Nike from next season. This is now 100% official, and I'm very excited and very happy about that, because Nike has just so much more reach in Asia, in other continents as well, than New Balance. New Balance, remember, is a new up-and-coming brand, and they are great. They made some fantastic kits that I absolutely love. But ultimately, I want what's best for Liverpool, and what's best for Liverpool is to have one of the biggest manufacturers being partnered with Liverpool, and to have as many Liverpool merchandise in as many stores around the world, in as many countries as possible, because that way Liverpool get as much money as possible, which gets reinvested into the squad, which will make ultimately Liverpool more successful on the pitch, and the success will be sustainable as well in the future, in the next 5 years. And that's what I want. I want Liverpool to have as much success as possible on the pitch, and that's how you get it. So I'm really looking forward to the future. Thanks for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.